Hi there and welcome to Trigonometry. Today we're going to solve some problems from our college algebra course on basic functions and their graphs. The first problem is to determine whether the points 2, 0 and negative 2, 8 are on the graph of the equation y equals x squared minus 3x plus 2. So we're asked to find out whether the point 2, 0 and negative 2, 8 lie on the graph of the curve y equals x squared minus 3x plus 2. The graph of an equation like this is the collection of all ordered pairs x and y that when plugged into this equation will make the equation true. And so in this case, what we need to do is we need to take each of these points, thinking of them as an x and a y, and we need to plug those values into the equation to see if the result is a true statement. So in this case here, we'll plug 0 in for y, and then we'll see if it's equal to what we get over here for plugging x in. So we plug x in here, we get 2 squared minus 3 times 2 plus 2. And we just need to resolve that equation, simplify it. So we square the 2 to get 4. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6 plus 2. And that we're trying to see if that's equal to 0. Continuing to simplify, 4 minus 6 is negative 2 plus 2. That'll result in a 0. And so we end up with an equation that says 0 is equal to 0, which is a true statement. So this means that plugging this value into this equation here yields a true statement, which means that that point is on the curve. So this point is on the graph. Now, we want to check this point. But why don't you pause the video to see if you can figure out how to check whether this is on the curve or not. And then I'll show you how to do it. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to plug this same point as an x and a y into this equation to see if it yields a true statement. That'll tell us whether or not this point is on the graph of the equation or not. So we plug 8 in for y. And then we plug negative 2 in for x. And we get negative 2 squared minus 3 times negative 2 plus 2. Negative 2 squared produces a 4. Negative 3 times negative 2 is a positive 6. So that adds 6. And then we add 2 more. And if you add all that together, you end up with 4 plus 6 is 10 plus 2, which yields that 8 is equal to 12. 8 is not equal to 12. And so 8 equals 12 is a false statement. So because plugging this point into this equation yielded a false statement, it means that this point is not on the graph of that equation. So this is not on the graph. And that's how you identify whether or not a point is on the graph of an equation. And that's it for our tutorial on how to do a few problems of this type where we talk about functions and their graphs. We'll see you next time on Trigonometry.